We're going to just go with this. Peeps.
How about Collective Thoughts with B4Good group?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Principle 5.
I think principle's like the wrong way to spell.
Oh, is it?
No, that's the right way. Principal is like the
You had it right the first time.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Principle?
PLE.
He's a speller. I'm going to trust Cedric. He's in college.
Oh.
He's in college.
I'm a college graduate.
Okay. You're a college graduate.
People, here we go.
But
In 5,
I'm an art
4,
history major.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Biz4Good Show, where we highlight misfits, outcasts, and renegades for the being good and doing good movement. We spotlight people that are changing the world by having integrity and honesty and creating an environment of connection, thus showing the true secret to success and creating a life of greater impact.
Thank you.
So come on board and create your own Biz4Good life.
Welcome to the Biz4Good Show! Welcome to the Biz4Good Show. Welcome. I am your host, Bobby Glenn James, along with the Motabulous, Fantabulous, Melastic, Abulously Walastic, Ryan Pilkington, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you've never heard those terms before.
I don't know if I should be offended or...
So special
Yes,
you get new adjectives.
Yeah, you get new adjectives. That's right.
Melastic.
You're melastic, my friend, which is amazingly fantastic and morose. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. All right. Welcome to the Biz4Good Show, folks. Today's going to be an interesting episode. We apologize. We've had some technical difficulty with our guest that was going to come on, so we have decided to take on the live and... we have a concept that we've been wanting to talk about, which is Principle 5. We're going to talk to you about that, and we're all, the Biz4Good team is going to discuss Principle 5 to a Biz4Good life, which in your business, in your life, if you use this principle, you're going to have a better world and be better. Right, Ryan?
I agree completely.
Tell us about
Because I
that.
have all those talents hidden inside of me.
You're melastic.
Whatever else.
Fantastically melastic.
Thanks for joining us for the Biz4Good Show on episode 93. Principle number 5 for the Biz4Good life is what we'll be talking about with the Biz4Good Show crew.
Biz4Good Show crew.
Yeah, we got a crew.
We got a crew, baby.
Yeah, we used to have 2. Now we have
crew.
crew.
4 and 5. We have 5.
Shout out to Ileana, Dontrell, Cedric,
Bobby,
And-
Ryan,
and our wives, Momo.
Bamo, and
Lolo.
Lynn,
Lila,
Lynn,
Delana. I don't know.
Ron. I don't know where I'm going with
I
that.
call her Linda May, but yeah.
Linda May, I love that. Is her middle name May?
Yeah,
I love Linda May.
I know. It's
Makes
like
me think of
summer.
a Who.
What?
Cindy Lou Who. Linda May.
I'm like, who?
A Who. That sounds like a. I love anything Who related.
Oh, well, it's Linda May. Hey.
Linda May and Cindy Lou Who probably would hang out.
Yeah, they'd be like best buds.
They would be best buds.
They look
Well,
alike.
don't you think? They look alike. Okay, I don't know where we're going. We are on a trail. Oh, Ryan is pointing at the screen for me to do something. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Biz4Good Show. We are two fun, adventurous entrepreneurs sharing the experience of the real secret to success in business, doing all things with a be good, do good mindset. There is so much bad noise in the world today, and manipulation, and the most disgustingless nastiness that we want to get into the good of the world. There's so much good out there. We are dedicated. We are determined to scream at the top of our lungs, and everybody tells me to quit yelling so loud because it clicks the mics. But I can't help it because I am so overpowered
Just
with
scoot
the
back a
fact
couple
of the Biz4Good. You guys, get out there and do some good and create a better life for yourself and others. People are people.
People. Bobby was saying
That's
he
what
was
the
going to unleash the Bobby.
I said I've been holding it
He's
back
been
a little.
holding back.
Yeah,
was like,
I
what-
went to an
What are
event.
you holding back?
I went to an event last night and I asked the question of how do you get above the noise to one of the speakers, and the dude's like, most people pretend in podcasting to they're loud and they've got their podcasting deal, and there I was loud and obnoxious because that's just who I am, and everybody's like, oh man, that guy's kind of being rude to me or something. I didn't take it that way at all. I just didn't matter. But the next guy that asked the question, he goes, no, that's the way Bobby is all the time. That's the real Bobby. And I'm like, maybe I've been holding back.
Just holding back.
Maybe the real Bobby is just insane. Let's get fun. Let's have some fun with it, people. I'm tired of being boring, and let's do it. Okay, what are we talking about today?
And I'm never going to I'm not holding back either. I'm just giving it all
Ryan
right.
Mantabulous. Ooh, Mantabulous is even better. He's Mantabulous. Ooh.
Hashtag
Hashtag
Mantabulous.
Ryan Pilkington Mantabulous.
Go in the dictionary and look up Mantabulous. There I am.
There it is. Ryan Mantabulous.
Yeah.
That's Ryan Pilkington.
Mantabulous.
The man is Mantabulous. These two
I
are like,
wanted-
oh my gosh, that's it. This is the last time I'm coming to this thing.
No.
I wanted to ask a question.
You want to ask a question
Yeah.
on the show?
Yeah,
An outside of the box crazy question that's not on the prompter?
exactly.
Are you guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay.
What was the question?
It's yours. It's your question, dude. You can't be Mantabulous and hang us like that.
No, the question was, why did you choose to be involved in the Biz4Good show?
Oh, we're going to go around the room.
Yeah.
We're going to go around the room. Should we start with... I think we should go Cedric, Dontrell, me, then you.
Okie dokie.
Cedric, why did you decide to be a part of the Biz4Good show?
It's a good question.
Why in the crap am I... Dude, I didn't have anything to do on a Thursday at 2:30.
I mean, you can be real. We're all being authentic.
Yeah, this
There's
is
no
real.
wrong answers.
Yeah, there's no wrong answers.
Yeah.
But so tell us seriously. No.
I don't know. I like radio. I like listening to podcasts and sports radio and things like that. So, anything related to that, I'm game to help out with and participate in, especially when it's something that's good, Biz4Good, and being good and doing good, helping people out.
It really is cool. It's cool. Sorry, I got to shut up. This is your turn. I need my turn, and because I got all kinds of exciting
you
stuff
have
to say.
commentary. You can
Yeah, that's right.
commentary.
Oh, I can commentary.
Yeah. Oh, I can-
That's all. It is
Right
cool,
there,
dude.
foot, man.
This really is fun. I don't care if we have 2 listeners. This is a blast. I freaking love getting up here and hanging out with cool guys, cool people, neat folks of all kinds,
A bunch of
shapes and sizes.
Mantabulouses today.
Yeah, there's all kinds of mantabulism going on.
But we do love the women.
Womanastic? Womanastic. Mantabulists and womanastics.
That is so going on or something.
Okay, it's recorded, so we will remember it because I don't want to forget that. Mantabulist and womanastic. I love that. That's our words. That's Biz4Good. Okay, we have went off. Sorry, Cedric. This is this is you.
No, that's what I got. That's
It's just a way to spend some time, yeah. and it is fun. It is cool, and I really love connecting with our whole message. Our message is the coolest thing. And I know I've said this a million times, but I originally thought it was a no-brainer and realized more people need to hear that they need to do more good. Mm-hmm. Dontrell.
Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, Dontrell Mora!
I exactly
Well,
agree with that because I love being able to come. The reason I came for, I guess anyone that is listening, is for Bobby and Ryan. I got the opportunity to meet them at the podcasting summit that was held here. I was actually looking into doing podcasting, very interested in learning about it, and these 2 gentlemen were nice enough to say, hey, we're going to take you under our wing. You can come and experience the the fun and the joy that we have in producing and interviewing, great people out there. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that was a dream come true to me. So,
and listen to that voice. He's got a great voice, man. I remember the first time I met Dontrell, I'm like, dude, yeah, you've got to have a podcast.
Can
Your
you
voice
say
is
in
awesome.
a world? In a world.
In a world.
Like,
See, it's just natural for him. He doesn't have to try. You and me have to try. It's just natural for Dontrell. It's just his voice. You could be Darth Vader.
Oh, gosh. That would be an honor.
You
if
just
it
need
ever
some
happened.
asthma. That's all you need.
You just need some asthma.
But I love seeing the creativity.
Making fun
that
of it,
just
James
comes.
Earl Jones, man.
He didn't have
It's
asthma.
great.
Sorry, we went off again. We went off track.
I was just saying, I love seeing the authentic creativity that goes on each week. It's refreshing. I love it.
Our big mantra is just be real.
Right.
And I think we hit that on the mark, don't you think, Ryan?
Yeah.
100%.
And I think we've done
No
a pretty good
attitudes, no
job with the
egos.
guests being real. We've had some great guests over the 2 years we've been doing this. We're approaching episode 100. This has been such an honor and a thrill to be a part of, and it's real, and it's cool.
Thank you for being our mentors, really.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, it's my turn. Oh, I'm so excited! It's my turn because
Bobby's turn.
This was so crazy. I am not sure if I even heard of a podcast. I'm sure I probably did. Internet radio. I don't know. When Ryan came up to me a couple years ago and said, "Hey, Bobby, I want to start a podcast about doing good in business." Doing business goodly, and we toyed around with stuff, and he said, "Are you interested?" He said, "I think you're fun, and you'd be fun to be on this show probably with, maybe." And I'm like, "Oh wow, podcasting!" And then you showed me all those videos of how to start a podcast, and I'm like, "Wow, this is kind of cool. This would be kind of cool." I took my phone out and I said, "Okay, let's go." So we recorded our first 2 episodes with my phone, and you showed me a bunch of those videos. I did a bunch of research on how to start a podcast, and you didn't hear from me for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
and
in a dungeon or something.
And you're like, and I'm in figure it out mode at that point. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, video after video. I'm watching YouTube, and what's his name? The guy that you turned me on to. What was the dude? Flint or
Yeah.
Pat? Or
Pat Flynn.
Pat Flynn?
Yep.
Yeah,
School,
I watched
school.
every YouTube video that he had on podcasting and every kind of stuff to have, and then I went on Amazon and bought that big snowball, that goofy mic there, and I said, "Come to the office," and there's the mic in the middle. I'm like, "Okay, Ryan, let's do this thing." And we had Blair Nicole as our first guest.
She should be our 100th guest.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
If she was our 100th guest.
Yeah, let's book it.
Oh, dude, yes, we've got to talk to Nicole. That would be. She's done some amazing things since she's been on the show.
And she just recently threw down on Facebook. She wants to get involved in some more good projects.
Yeah, I saw that. So, you know what? I am so grateful that you came to me and said, "Let's do this." It's been a blast. Just meeting the people we have met and the connections that we've made. I mean, we would have never went down to the podcast festival, the Outliers Podcast Festival. Would have never been a part of founding a whole Utah movement with the Utah Podcast Summit, which was so cool. I am so humbled and honored to be a part of that. I've met so many amazing, we've both met so many amazing podcasting people, like we met Dontrell down there at the podcast summit. I was so overwhelmed with the whole coolness of the podcasting world, the community of the podcasting world.
It is a tight community.
It's so weird too, because they're all these different genres, but all the people are just really cool and committed to their vision of what they want to get out to the world. It's just a cool thing.
We went to a networking thing downtown. It was my first networking thing at a podcast. Everybody, it just felt like you were kind of family.
It did.
Like you could say whatever you wanted.
Yeah, we had an event for Peak Podcasting a couple months ago. We've had one since then too. But the one lady, she got up at the end of the thing and she said, "This just feels like these are my people." And they all had different kinds of podcasts. Nobody did the same stuff, but it's a mindset of this new media of doing something with a voice, whether anybody listens or not. We're just living our voice. Super cool. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, so I asked the question, so I better answer it, right?
You better answer it, man.
Well, I was involved with it. I'm still involved. It's kind of on hold right now with Advocate Tees. It's an apparel company to help anti-bullying and suicide awareness. I really wanted to grow a community and of doing good and being good and sharing good things. I actually was coming from a space of where I kind of attacking the bullies, and I realized I just need to spread the good to infect the good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to do a podcast, but I don't know a lot, and I need help. So I was traveling on a bus, going to a call center where I worked, and I hated, but something said, you got to talk to Bobby. So I called him up, and he said, sure, why not?
And then you didn't hear from me for 2-3 weeks.
We set our time. We're like, well, how about this time at this day we can meet every week, and it kind of changed.
Worked out.
It was on a Tuesday, wasn't it?
Was it on a Tuesday when we first started meeting?
I don't know. Anyway,
It seems like we've been Thursday at 2:30 so long that I don't know.
Yeah, and it's been opening. It's opened so many doors for me. It's opened my ability to be more myself.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
like getting me on
Come out of your
TV
shell.
and
made you be on video all the time.
take me to these road trips and have to talk
Bobby,
to
I don't want to be on video. You're going to be on video, Ryan. Okay.
Yeah, I could barely stand my voice at the time, but so I enjoy getting on the mic. It's fun. So
It is fun.
So
It's all
and we're
really
doing
fun.
good. We're actually doing a lot of good. Just by spreading, talking about it, that energy goes out, spreads, and so I'm grateful for it.
Have we looked at iTunes lately? I'm curious where we're at. I'm going to look it up while we're talking. Hey, so we should probably
We were
talk about
top 5 on the podcast land under marketing. Again.
Yeah, podcastland.com. Podcastland.com in business. I forgot to put on the Do Not Disturb.
We're gonna get some music, boys.
And cut. Okay, everybody knows my phone. I don't even know how to turn it off.
Turn it up, Bobby.
There we go.
Turn it up.
You go, boy.
Okay.
Anyway.
I was gonna do a jam.
I thought that was iTunes for a second.
Yeah, that music is kind of good. Kind of works pretty good. Well, you pulled up iTunes and it started singing to you. That's perfect. We're going to go to top podcasts, and then we're going to go to all categories, and we're going to hit business category. Then we're going to hit podcasts.
And we're gonna wait in silence.
Cedric, what's been
Okay,
your best experience?
we are still in the top 100. What?
What's up?
I was just asking him, like,
was
while
trying-
you were looking that up, like, what's his best experience he's had, like, since being here? Because I was just curious while he was like, in
My
silence.
favorite experience with Cedric is having a picture of him running a 3-mile race with one shoe
shoe.
tucked under his arm.
Yeah.
I'm going to always remember that story, dude.
That was an
The-
awesome
and the
story.
fact that you ran it faster than the one before is just insanely cool. That was a great story. Thank you. I will never forget that.
Yeah.
I was laughing my butt off thinking about it the next day and telling my wife. And I'm like, did you hear what Cedric said? It's
I
so
told my wife too. It's funny we have to tell our wives to listen to things.
Oh, who was it? My wife said, some famous person said, his wife doesn't listen to him either. And I'm like, okay, all right.
They have to listen to us every day.
That's true.
So.
She was telling me we were watching, so I'm not going to tell you the documentary because the guy is a little bit of a lunatic in the show. I'm going to hit Do Not Disturb, and I'm going to turn it on. See there? It's done. Now it won't ring.
Yeah.
And we were watching it, and he's this really kind of interesting dude, very eccentric, funky dude in this documentary, and he's wearing not a turban, but like a scarf over his head and stuff. And my wife goes, "That guy reminds me of you." I'm like, "Oh, Thanks.
I don't seem to be wearing a scarf on my head.
I have, though. And I think what I'm going to do, she's not going to listen to the show, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Walmart, I think, here after the show, and I'm going to buy a scarf.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it on my head and see what she says when I walk in the door, because she's not going to listen to the show.
Yeah.
So.
You should put a violin on there. So.
Oh, dude, you're saying what the show was about. Okay.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, you just said violin.
I just,
Anyway.
random thought of
It's
a
actually a
violin.
really cool documentary. we should probably talk about it. The guy is really eccentric and really, but an amazing artist in his own right.
Yeah.
It's called Strad Style. It's on Netflix. It's an
Well, you
interesting.
bled the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, I did. Well, you said violin, which I said, well, let's go all the way.
Oh.
It's actually a really cool documentary. If
gonna
you
watch it
like
now.
that kind
I'm
of
gonna watch
stuff,
it. Yeah.
he's eccentric. He's really interesting. He lives in a house with no heat, and he's throwing stuff around, but he makes this violin. My wife is like, through the whole thing, she's like, he is never going to make that violin. There's no way he's going to build that. So I won't give the cliffhanger. Watch it. The end is actually really cool. So anyway, but I don't think I'm anything like that guy. Maybe.
It kind of leads into what principle number 5 is.
Oh, yes. Ryan, way to bring us
Yeah,
around and
that's
segue.
what
Everybody's
I
been
do.
listening to almost 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and we haven't talked about the title yet. So should we go around the room?
Yeah.
Who wants to talk about principle number 5 for a Biz for Good life? What is principle number 5? Ryan, would you like to announce the actual principle?
Yeah, we got to go drum roll.
Ow.
Don't tap the table.
Don't tap the table. Oh, I did want to finish up. We are still in the top 100, but we are 99. So we are right at top 100 in business of iTunes, which is a
That's
pretty
good.
huge feat.
That's
I mean,
good.
I'm pretty freaking happy with that.
Yeah, we want to definitely thank all those that are listening, and you can always give us comments at info@biz4goodshow.com.
Biz4goodshow.com. What's principle number 5, Ryan?
Principle number 5
You
is...
mantabulous man, you.
I'm going to read something. Maybe. No, I'm not. Principle
can
number
read it from
5.
here.
Yeah, you can read it. I'll say thoughts is principle. Yeah,
Principle
thoughts
number 5,
are
thoughts.
There. That's it.
Principle number 5 are thoughts. So people talk about you got to be positive all the time. You know, you got to keep positive. You know, if you're not positive, you're negative. Well, guess what, people? Being negative kept us alive in the jungle. I mean, worrying about the animals coming to eat us was what kept us from getting killed. Worrying is why we lock our doors. Worrying is why we protect ourselves. So to say don't ever think negatively is kind of not the point.
Yeah.
The true and the concept behind thinking thoughts is what controls you and what moves your life. Meaning not necessarily be positive, but think of and pay attention to the good things in your life is what that thought process means. Like Henry David Thoreau said, as a single footstep will not make a path on the earth, so a single thought will not make a pathway in the mind. To make a deep physical path, we walk again and again. To make a deep mental path, we must just think over and over the kind of thoughts we wish to dominate our lives. Henry David Thoreau, people. Wow. Pachanga.
We did a bar session to reset our pathways,
Yes.
right?
We should have Missy back on and do a full hour
About
bar
thoughts.
session. Yeah.
Thoughts.
Yes.
Resetting our pathways.
Yeah. What do you guys think about thoughts? And in that vein of what you focus on is what you see. It's what you get in life. If you focus on all the crappy stuff that's happened, and it isn't necessarily about thinking positive or negatively, it's more about looking at the good things in your life and paying attention more to that. Because I've seen people, one person that's had this kind of really hard life, and I've seen another person that has had this same really kind of hard life. and one says how sucky their world has been, and one says how great and blessed their world has been, and they've had the same past.
It's deep.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about what's done to you. It's about what you see
And how
from
you
it,
and how you
and how you react and connect to it. But truthfully, you can think however you want. Life sucks, or life is bad, and life is good, and life is great. Either way, you're absolutely right. Sorry, I'm talking the whole thing. Dontrell, what do you think?
Personally, I think it's just about when you move forward with life and you're making decisions, the intention that you have behind what you do is what really matters. So, like you're saying, if it's something bad that's happened or something good, a person can look at it either way. But if you're going with the intention of wanting to do good, like you speak of and you talk about, with your interviewees, the thing that makes them feel so successful and makes their shortcomings or trials look so minuscule is the fact that their intention is, I'm just going to do this because it's a good thing to do, it's the right thing to do. And so when you're doing that constantly, or trying to live your life like that, when nobody's watching you, when nobody's around to see it, that's when you really feel and you become the more genuine. And so then at that point, I don't know, your thought process becomes like, what can I do? Instead of what's been done to me, what can I do? How can I be used to help, this situation or this
And you can even
community?
use bad things that have happened to you in your
Exactly.
life to be an example to others, to say, you know what? Bad things can happen to you, and I can still overcome and move forward. Which brings me to tomorrow night, we're going to be at an event called Your Superpowers. Yeah. Finding Your Superpower. Finding Your Superpower. It is all, and I know what the speakers are speaking on. I've heard them all speak, and they're going to be mostly talking exactly about that. They've had a lot of hardships in their lives that they have overcome, and they are these powerful examples of superheroes to me. The speakers, it's going to be super powerful. It's tomorrow night. It's on Facebook, the event. We should post it on Biz4Good just to let people know. It's for mostly teens and young adults, to just let them know, guys, in the world today, we're bombarded with so much stuff and negativeness, and there's so much suicidal thoughts, and there is a lot of suicide in general. I mean, it's a tough world for young now, but they can see that there are people that can overcome that stuff. And so this is the perfect segue to talk about that for the show, because it is all about their mindset and how they change their whole mindset from the hard things that have happened to them. Super cool.
It does sound cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I think as Dontrell was talking too, I think your thoughts are what define your integrity, the person that you are, the actions that you put forth afterwards, after you've been thinking about these things. And plenty of examples. I think about the sports world, of course. There's people who come from the same background and don't make it very far. They let those hardships in their life drag them down. They spend a lot of time.
Michael
Dwelling
Jordan
on
didn't
those.
make it to varsity basketball, correct?
Right. His first try. But, everyone knows him. That's a household name. He's got a brand, the greatest basketball player ever. Because he kept going. That was his integrity. He let that, he probably cried about it when he went home the first night, but then he let that build him up, and he exercised self-mastery in his thoughts to become better, commit, and become a better person. And so I think there's so much power in thoughts. And just like that quote that you read, you think about those things over and over and over again. That's what you become, and the actions that you put forth, and the legacy that you leave at the end of the day too.
Absolutely. You talk about sports. Sports is such a good. It shows you the people that really understand that kind of mindset. Babe Ruth was, the home run king forever, but he was also the struck-out king. He also led the world record for being struck out the most. Did he dwell on that? Absolutely not. His philosophy was, I go up to the plate to knock it out of the park every stinking time.
Yeah.
That was his thought process.
There's a mantra like that too. Good shooters in the NBA and playing basketball, they have a short memory. Because if they miss a shot, they can't dwell on that because they'll miss the next 3 shots that they take.
Right.
They need to be able to be there 3 seconds left in the game to hit a shot. So they have a short memory.
Wow.
Awesome. What do you think, Ryan?
Well, my mind's been bouncing all over the place. I just remembered somebody shared a picture of a match lit, and on the wall you could see the shadow of the person, but you couldn't see the shadow of the flame or the smoke. You just saw the match. Isn't that interesting? That the darkness, the light and the darkness, the light couldn't be shown in that shadow. Oh. I don't know if it's true. We could do the experiment or whatever, but it showed there was no light in the in the shadow. So in our thoughts, if we're focusing on the good thoughts, then that darkness can't be there.
Exactly. Right. You can't think two things.
Yeah.
It's physically impossible for your mind to think two things at the same time. Mm-hmm. So if you fill your head with positive, powerful things, good stuff, and how you're going to take on the world, and you don't let the doubts and the negative stuff, and not to say that it's not going to get in there, but the fact that, hey, when I see negative things in my head, or see them, if I feel or know I've got negative stuff in my head, I can push them out really quickly by just going, you know what, I'm a bad A.
Yeah.
I'm awesome. I'm amazing. And just like the Norrises, and a few episodes ago, where she said, she looks in the mirror and says, "Impress me today."
Impress me.
I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like challenging yourself to kick ass.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Kick some booty.
Kick some booty.
Also, I learned this too. We were sitting around a bonfire, and the gentleman said, "Isn't it interesting that when you look into a fire, your mind drifts, but it never goes into darkness?" So, like, I was sitting there one day, and when you was at a campfire, honestly, do you focus on bad stuff? Have you ever been in a campfire and been like,
we've told some scary stories.
Yeah, you tell good, but you don't. I don't know.
The dude with the claw, he got out of the insane asylum. They've heard the scratch on the top of the car.
Or like the phone call came in.
He's in the He's in the house. He's in the house.
Anyway,
I've told you the story about working up at the slaughterhouse up in Logan. That was the story I told at the campfire with Boy Scouts when I'd go on the Boy Scout thing. They didn't want to hear ghost stories. They wanted to hear Bobby's time in the slaughterhouse. Because I told them it was like hell.
Yeah.
Because everybody yelled and screamed, and everybody's covered in blood, and they have chainmail, and they all have knives. I mean, it literally, I was like, where's the door to open up to go down into hell further?
yeah.
Because there's no windows or anything either.
I worked in the bottom of the basement of that place, so I know.
You worked in the bottom of the basement of the slaughterhouse?
Well, what was funny was I was down at the very bottom, but this guy that was with me, he was like, he was training another guy with me. He's like, we have to go one more floor down.
To go to hell.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Wait a minute. We've already went down.
He even said some people don't make it back.
Oh, dude.
He said that. Because it was the chopper.
Oh,
Down.
it chopped up the gooey stuff because they only put the yucky stuff that's like fertilizer and stuff down there. That's not eatable crap.
My job was to take the refined crap and put it down to his place.
So you got, and then it went down. Yeah. Anyway, those were the days.
Yeah.
I remember I'd go out there. I'd go outside and I'd watch the cows being herded in to get ready to get shot in the head with the bolt.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember sitting there and, man, you could totally tell those cows knew something was up.
Oh, yeah.
They were not happy. It was like, okay, this is not good. Something bad's going on. And I wanted to make a short story. I wanted to write a story about a cow that's born out in the field, and he's living with his mom, and life is beautiful, and his mom tells him, one of these days, the really good human people are going to take you away to Shangri-La. and it's going to be wonderful for you.
I have a story on.
Oh no.
And so, of course, you know, he gets, oh, cool, I'm going to Shangri-La, oh, cool. And then they get to the factory. What's going on? Something is, what? Oh, I just remember. I debated to go vegan. I debated to go vegan when I had that job.
I
almost quit eating
I have a
meat.
side story on that. I
Yeah?
went for that interview for that job. They told me, go to that office over there on these steps. So, okay, I walked up, and I went to the wrong door. Mm-hmm. Right?
You went the
The
left.
one
instead
door
of-
was office space. The other door is the kill floor.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
kill floor is a
And I was
crazy
like,
place.
so I'm going to go to this interview. Holy, I'm out of here.
So did you? Was that right? Where the guy stands up at the top and he's the button pusher.
Yep.
So they have these two buttons, and the cow comes in and he pushes a button, and a big rod goes through the top of the cow's head, and then he just opens his door, and the cow rolls down. And the most dangerous job in that place is a dude down at the bottom, and he has to take a chain and wrap it around the back leg of the animal. These things, they were huge.
Right.
They were, they were just giant. And you would think, that rod goes in their head, they don't die. I mean, they're jerking, and their legs are this big giant animal. I know this is pretty graphic. Sorry.
Good thing it's at the
But
end of
this
this
dude-
episode.
This dude, I'm like, how can? Because he's kicking to try and get it to, and then he wraps around the leg, and then it takes it up. Anyway, I remember thinking, wow, don't want that
Maybe
job.
the vegan representatives are here now knocking. Because someone's knocking
This
at
is
our door.
our graphic rating.
Anyways, just when you do a campfire, see if you have what thoughts.
Wow,
on
you
your-
you took us right back.
Yeah.
Good job, Ryan.
Well, somebody has to rein in the whole full Monty Bobby.
Full Monty Bobby. Okay. All right. What do you guys think? We have actually been shooting the bull for 35 minutes. Any last words about thoughts? Guys, it's a powerful, powerful principle. We talk about affirmations, and all that stuff is good. Just focus your mind with positive thoughts, with good things, seeing the good stuff in the world, the good things in your life, even when your life is tough. If you can focus on what's good about it, because I guarantee you there is something good about your life. Even if you're having the worst hardships on earth, there's always something good in your life.
I agree. Concurred.
Cool. We got people that got to go to meetings.
Well, my meeting got pushed back, but
Oh, Don Trail, you're still here.
I have to go soon, but that's true. Thank you for that reminder.
well, thanks for being on the Biz4Good show, guys, and giving us your 2 cents, and thanks for all your comments. honestly.
Yes. Words of wisdoms.
Words of wisdoms. So we'll leave the show today with the hashtag Be Good, Do Good, unlike some people out in the world. All right. Hashtag Be Good, Do Good. Hashtag
Be good, do good.
Hashtag
Be good, do good.
You got a deep one. That's a wrap.